Let's see what happens. What's up, Aaron? Hey, there we go.
Okay, nice. There we go.
All right. I think we're good to go on both platforms. Yeah, YouTube, Instagram.
Nice. I think so. I think we're pulling it off. Let us know in the comments if we're not.
Yeah, it sounds good. YouTube comments look good. Instagram should usually be working, so we're good to go. All right. So now that we got that whole thing figured out, first of all, Aaron, Brandon, unfortunately, Alec could not join us today. There was a whole scheduling issue, so I'm sure he'll be with us next time at some point. But today is our 10th global meditation since we started on 10/10 in 2020, on October 10th, 2020. You know, I just want to say it's always really nice to see how these things evolve, because I didn't know where it was going. Even when we started back in October, I'm just like, hey, why don't we do I actually remember where I was. I woke up in bed and I'm like, we should do this. And I put something together and it ended up just blowing up and going all over the place. And then I'm like, okay, 10/10 went well. Let's do 11/11, 12/12, 1/1, 2/2, 3/3. And today we're at 8/8. So Aaron, you've joined us here in the past. You guided, I think 2 meditations ago. You did an awesome job. Everybody loved it.
That was fun.
Today we have the privilege of having Brandon on with us as well. So before we get into intentions and all that, just to give some guidance to everybody who's tuning in, Brandon's going to be playing some amazing Native American flute for us, just to get like a little cocktail hour going on before we get into this thing. And Aaron, once again, will be guiding us through this meditation. So again, thank you guys for being here.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having us.
Yeah.
Always fun to hang out.
Little do your people know that you are a natural flute player yourself. And I'm not just saying that. You've progressed through the levels very rapidly.
I've gotten to level 5 with Brandon being my flute guru of teaching me what to do and how to.
Which are just totally like made up arbitrary levels that I just make up just for fun for Jason.
Maybe you and Spirit Dancer have like a past life or something.
Yeah.
Maybe. So we're going to do today, we're starting at 8 p.m. So we got about 10 minutes, 8 p.m. Eastern time. We always go according to Eastern, which is just because I live in New York, so it's easiest. But over the next 10 minutes while people tune in, and let's leave like 3 minutes before we hit the actual mark to get some of the flute going and all that. I think until we get to that point, there are a lot of things that need to be spoken about right now in terms of what's going on in the world that I'd like to bring in, and feel free, you guys bring in whatever you want. This is a whole collective effort of what we're doing here. But I just want to express what I'm feeling right now and what I feel when I tune into the collective of not just New York, not just the United States, but literally the entire globe. And, you know, it started where it was September, October, November, December. There was a lot of action. Everything was going really, really on the surface of what we perceived really well. And then slowly on the surface, it's like, wait a second, what we thought didn't happen. And it looks like on the surface, and I emphasize on the surface, well, we lost that and we lost that. And now certain things are being mandated. And yeah, today they're emergency authorized. Tomorrow, what happens when that changes? You know, what's next? And I feel like there's a lot of fear. There's a lot of anxiety in the system. And my main intention of what I'd like to really focus on throughout this guided and global meditation is bringing not just baseless hope, but rational hope on understanding why we're destined to reach the point of absolute light and absolute harmony and absolute peace and balance for all. And to me, the only question really is, it's not, are we going to get there? We're going to get there. It's an absolute fact because it's our destiny. The question is, what's going to happen along the way? And I think that's where some of the uncertainty lies. We don't know who's going to make it out of certain things, who may not. And I really want to lighten that topic up of reminding ourselves through your messages why we can be just a little bit lighter through these difficult times. So why don't we start with Aaron? We'll go to Brandon, and we'll get into the whole Native American flute. Spirit dancer.
Spirit dancer. Yeah, this is what I was sharing on our live earlier today. That's like really been my catalyst and challenge in this season, is like, how do I meet these challenges without becoming involved in the insanity or adding to the insanity of the world? And for me, it's looked a lot like gratitude. And that's where I think we can get really practical with it, is that, you only know light through darkness, and we only grow by healing and transcendence. And so I've been trying to look at these people who are, inundating us with propaganda and mandates and taking away our civil liberties and all of that, who most of us are looking at with a lot of anger and resentment, and really looking at them and saying like, thank you for the catalyst you're offering me. Thank you for playing your role, because without you, we would not be coming together right now like we are. Without you, I wouldn't have grown tremendously in the last year and a half. And I don't know about you guys, but I've like really felt a sort of shift in the collective consciousness in the last week or so. And I feel like, the polarities wrestle with one another. And I feel like for a few months there, it was really dark and hopeless in the air and things like that. And I feel like enough of that darkness has catalyzed the light. It's beginning to shine through and break through. We're seeing people all over the world, speaking truth in the court systems, in the school systems, the government level. The guy in Canada who had that breakthrough case in Alberta, and there's hope alive again. There's more and more people are getting sick and tired of what we're seeing happen in the world, and that's what causes us to come together. And it's like so beautiful to witness this happening. And there would not be an awakening like this without the catalyst we're seeing on the negative end. So if we are going to be a planet of unity, at some point, something has to spark us to do that. And it's only ever going to be a challenge, right? So like, if I can just keep that perspective and hold that in my awareness, I can't look at this with anything but gratitude. And I've actually become almost like happier now than I've ever felt before, because I'm able to appreciate the marvelous intelligence of the universe and the way it works together with everything for our highest good. We can't always see it in the immediate, but we always look back and go like, whoa, that was amazing what the universe did. Man, what a blessing. So it's like, I'm really trying to hold that perspective now in the present.
I love it. Brandon, one thing that I just want to add also in regards to one of the comments that I think is just important to add at this point is somebody said, and this has come up, I think, to each of us individually. That's why I'm addressing it. Somebody said, don't you think that by speaking about these things, you're amplifying it and giving it more attention? So I want to answer that for a second.
Yeah.
I totally understand where that's coming from, because in principle, you are absolutely correct, whoever said that. But I want to explain why what's happening here and how certain messages are being conveyed about this is different. Take sickness. If you say, I don't want to be sick, I don't want to be sick, I don't want to be sick, you're doing exactly what you said. You're amplifying the opportunity of being sick. You're amplifying that reality. If you say, wait a second, let's focus on sickness to understand how sickness works, with the intention of, we want to understand how sickness works in the body so we can help it. That's what we're doing here, to whoever said that. We're not focusing on the dark just to speak about dark.
Complain and moan. Yeah.
We're focusing on the dark to say, okay, this is how it works. This is why we got there. We understand that. Now let's work on moving out. But you have to understand like how the engine works in order to work on it. You have to understand how the engine works in order to be the mechanic, to make the car a better car. So I just wanted to clarify that to whoever said that, because I saw it come up a few times.
Yeah.
Brandon, go ahead.
Yeah, well, that's huge, because it's like, if everyone in the world was perfectly aware of what was going on, and was taking positive action and positive responses to what's going on, it's like, well, maybe we wouldn't be talking about it. But, that's where we're going. That's what this is leading to. So, if something is overwhelmingly being experienced in a positive way, well, then why change it? It's like no one goes, man, I had too many positive thoughts today. Oh, so it's
What a
like
drag.
until it's there, we're going to use it in a positive way. There, thereby demonstrating it's actually not fundamentally positive or negative. It's what we choose it to be. And so if we can use it to create unity, if we can use it to bring awareness, ultimately to point people back to who they are and their power and what they are and what this is, that could lead to freedom and connection, then I'm more than willing to talk about it as a means to meet someone where they're at, to lead them to where I think everyone is destined to go.
I love it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Can I just say one more thing about that, Jason?
Go ahead.
I've been getting a ton of that exact feedback as well on my content. And I think this is just like a really important thing to understand, because we can't afford to get this wrong, I think. And to your point, Jason, like we can't, unless we know where the darkness is, we can't bring light to it. So that's part of our service to others. But what that question is really pointing to is, what's the energy we're in when we're talking about those things? Are we hating it? Are we resenting it? Negative energy? Well, then for sure we're strengthening it. But if we're calling it out for what it is and saying, hey, this is an area we can heal, then we're bringing light to it. So the best way to see this is with shadow work. What we're doing right now is just collective shadow work. And so in shadow work, it'd be the equivalent of asking, well, isn't looking at your past traumas and feeling them strengthening them? It's like, well, it can be if you're resisting them and complaining about them. But what is healing? What is shadow work? It is to meet those shadows and look at them, become aware of them, and then meet them with love. So I just emphasize again and again, it's totally a form of spiritual bypassing to say, no, we shouldn't look at the darkness in the world of the corruption. We should ignore it and just meditate and whatever. That's a part of us that's actually afraid or threatened by it and doesn't really want to look at it. As somebody who has shadows to heal doesn't want to look at their shadows. So it is our responsibility to look at the darkness in the world and to call it for what it is, but not to hate it or to resist it, but to love it. And in a sense, like I said, be grateful for it, because it's playing a role and it has a purpose, but our purpose is to bring light to it.
Absolutely. I think on a complete side note, we should do a show specifically about this as a live show on another time.
Fully agree.
We'll get there. We'll do it. We'll figure that out. So it is 8. What we'll do is, Brandon, if you just want to give us a little taste,
a little spirit dancer,
a little caress,
just a little bit of that, and then Aaron will guide us for a 10-minute period. Aaron, I don't have the bowl this time, so I'll leave it up to you for that 10 minutes. You bring us back.
I'll keep one eye open on the clock.
One eye every so often. You can, whenever I used to guide them, somehow, like 9 minutes in, my eye opened.
It always happens that way.
Yeah. So that's what we're doing. Let's go for it.
It was actually me just telepathically reminding you from my home. I'm like, ting, ting. All right. Yeah, if you guys just want to close your eyes and let the flute take you wherever it takes you.
Selah. So continuing in this vibration, keeping our eyes closed, we just tune into presence. And allow for the present moment to take us together wherever the divine wills. I invite you to breathe through your nose, finding a comfortable, relaxed position, and joining our awareness together through the breath. Together we'll take 5 rounds of breath. 5-second inhale through the nose, holding at the third eye for 2 seconds, and then exhaling the energy, the prana, back down the spine for 5 seconds. So join me in taking a deep breath in, filling up the lungs, and a deep breath out, emptying out the lungs. And on my count, inhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, holding for 2, 1, and exhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And inhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, holding for 2, 1, and exhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And inhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, holding for 2, 1, and exhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And inhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, holding for 2, 1, exhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Last round, inhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, holding for 2, 1, and exhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Allowing the breath to go naturally, keeping the mouth closed, and sinking deeper into stillness. I invite you to keep your attention focused on the third eye center, maybe even moving the eyes gently upwards between the eyebrows so that all of your attention is focused here on the third eye. As you continue to breathe, visualize this energy center glowing brighter with energy and prana, and visualizing a bright indigo light at the third eye. This chakra is the energy center that allows us to access our knowledge of self as the creator, self-realization. And this knowledge of self as the creator is announced as the feeling I am in the body. So as you continue to hold your focus on the third eye, I invite you also to simply sit in that effortless knowledge of I am. Take a moment to tune into that. I exist. I am aware. Here's where all is one. Here's where everything finds its being. And here's where world peace will be found. And as each one of us raises our consciousness to this I am knowledge, we raise the collective frequency of Earth. Each one of us that comes to know ourselves as that divine spark of awareness called I am. We make that knowledge a little bit more available for the world. And so the only real one that needs to be saved in this world is you. To be saved from the mistaken belief, I am the body. I am separate. This is the mistaken belief that is plaguing our world. And so each and every day, let us all strive to seek to know who we are beyond the body as that self-luminous, eternal light of consciousness. I am. Take a deep breath in, feeling the lungs, feeling the chest expand. And a deep breath out. And we'll close this meditation by joining our voice and energy and vibration together by chanting the sacred, unstruck sound of Om. Wherever you are, audibly out loud, join me in holding this frequency for a moment together. Take a deep breath in. Sila. Beautiful. Thank you.
That was epic.
Ah,
That was good. I felt that.
there were multiple times, starting with Spirit Dancer, the flute, and many times throughout your guidance, Aaron, that my whole body, the word that's coming is like crystallized. Like everything turned into just chills, goosebumps the whole way through.
Yeah.
Wow.
Dude, Spirit Dancer almost had me out of body at the beginning.
Really?
Like, I gotta come back. I gotta lead this meditation.
Yeah, that's how I feel every time I play her.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's a different kind of feeling.
Yeah.
That was incredible.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jason, for having us.
Yeah, man. Thank you. Always fun doing this.
All right. So I'll plant the seed from now.
Yes.
In, when do you get? The 31st?
30th.
30th.
In 22 days from now, the three of us are going to be filming our first original, pretty much TV show. We're doing an 8-episode season 1, all about showing the synchronicities and the connections between the texts and the channels that we know best. So mine would be the Pyramid Code and Rays of Light. Aaron is the Law of One. Brandon is channeling Bashar and all the information that comes through that channel. So we're going to be, which I'm super excited about, filming our first pretty much original series. We can call it an ADK original series. It kind of just rolls off the tongue. I love it. So yeah, I'm super excited for that, and I'm looking forward to it. The studio is, I posted it for the first time yesterday. It's coming together, so getting all the cameras and the tripods and the light and the green screens and the whole deal, and I'm looking forward to it, guys. I'm really grateful that we're able to do this together, and all of this came from a 4-hour car ride.
Yeah. Epic story.
Literally, we just like, Jason would share something, and then Aaron would be like, well, in the Law of One, and then like, well, Bashar says, and it was just like synchronicity. We're like, this is so confirming, number one, but number two, so fascinating, because we have 3 different points of view on a new history of humanity, principles that govern reality that can completely change your life, that has changed our lives. Like it's all in one. There'll be like the entertainment piece because of the stories and everything that comes from Rays of Light and questions you might have about extraterrestrials, but it's also going to be, profoundly deep in wisdom. So I'm really excited about it.
Absolutely. I'm excited to finally show that identification with anything means absolutely nothing.
Yes.
And that's really what I feel coming from it. Like, even when we were speaking, everybody has their own terminology of what they were taught through. Right. But instead of saying, oh no, I learned it through the 4th dimension or the age of love, and you learned it through 4th density. Well, the beauty was we actually sat down to figure out the translations of all that terminology. And then we understood, wait a second, we're all saying the same thing differently.
Yeah.
So I think that's just a huge lesson in general of in any conversations had in the world. You speak long enough with somebody, even if you think you have like non-agreeable terms, somehow you do. You just have to get deep enough to understand there is a truth to everything and how it connects.
Yeah.
When you speak with that open mind. So I'm excited.
Yeah. To give you guys a little teaser or taste, maybe the sort of the crux of the show that we're trying to deliver is to show basically like the timeline of human history, where we are today and where we're headed, through a lot of these channeled works and sources like the Pyramid Code that Jason has brought through, Law of One, Bashar's teachings. We'll pull in other teachings, probably like some Emerald Tablets, Dolores Cannon's work, Edgar Cayce. And what we're trying to do is show that so many different sources, metaphysical sources, have spoken of these exact same events in human history, these exact same catalysts and future possibilities that await us. And when we put them, all the sources together, sort of like a collection of knowledge, and we say, wow, all these amazing sources are really saying the same stuff. Like Jason said, they use a little different language, but if we get through the terminology and we connect the dots, it's like, whoa, there's this one timeline being spoken of, and it's so freaking exciting. So it's going to be, we have actually technically 3 seasons planned. But we're going to start with Pyramid Code, so it's going to be fun.
I'm so excited.
Yeah.
Anyways, Brandon, you have something you want to say?
No, I'm good. I'm just excited.
Oh, awesome. All right. Well, anyways, this was our 10th global meditation. Until next time. Next time is going to be Now we're going to start moving to the mornings because the times make more sense. So 9 at 9 a.m. and then 10 at 10 a.m. and then we roll over at some date where it starts again. So Aaron, Brandon, thank you so much for coming on and just sharing your messages and your energy and your resonance with all of us. I look forward to creating absolute magic together and where it all goes.
They asked for a flute tune at the end, so I'm just
going this out, spirit dancer.
That's all I got.
There
You'll have to tune in next time for a more beautiful serenade.
Yes.
I love it. All right, guys.
Love you guys.
I love you both.
Love you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you guys for tuning in.
Until next time.
All right. See ya.
Alrighty.